Hi there, Joka here, and today I'm gonna show you how I created this card duo here. So I had these backgrounds already stamped for the release, but I haven't used them yet, so I decided to do that today. So I used the tribal background stamp set for those, and I'm gonna be using the Foreman stamp set as well. So this was the previous card that I showed you before. This is a one-layer card, but today I'm actually gonna be using the cut file that you can also purchase in a bundle with the stamp set in the shop if you want. So I die cut a few of the pieces, so a few of the flowers, a few of the leaves, and I'm going to stamp them all. I did this before. I'm not sure if this is the right way to go about it, but I just layered. So I glued down the first flower, and then I'm just going to be layering the others on top of it, and without gluing them down. It might not be the best option, but I didn't want to use temporary glue. I think I feel like I mentioned it already in a video before, that I did not want to use the temporary glue because when the ink is fresh, in my experience, the glue picks that up, so I would have some lighter color stains there. So instead, I'm just gonna wing it. They turned out okay. The only thing that I don't do now, which I did in the previous video, I did not double stamp the second layer. So the first one that I glued down, I double stamped, but the ones that I'm putting on top and don't fix, I only stamped once. Of course, you can try and double stamp it, but you would have to always, align the cut files over and over. So I'm going with one of my favorite color schemes here, which is pink, purple, and orange. So I chose a few Altenew ink colors and a few from Pink Fresh. The yellow stamps or the yellow inks I like to use from Pink Fresh. That's my favorite yellow bundle or set, and also the purple. Two of the purple colors in the 4 set is, I don't know, I use those 2 colors most often, so those are the ones I'm using here. I'm hoping that I'm showing all the colors here, but if I don't forget, I'm gonna link all of them in the description box below. All right, so these flowers have a few layers, very simple layers, very easy to layer them, or very easy to align them. If you see in the middle, there's a space for the flower center that you stamp with whatever color you want, yellow or whatever. Those have a certain shape, and that shape is cut out from both of the layers, so the biggest layer and then the smaller one, so the light pink and the darker pink. So you can easily easily find the right alignment for those. Now the center of the flowers is a bit tricky. The stems are really small, and they kept sticking to my fingernails. As you see, I have long nails, and I cannot really, I cannot hold the little stamp with just my finger, but my nail, and it just kept sticking to it. So that was a bit of a nightmare, but yeah, I hope you will not have problems with that. Anyway, so now I'm moving on to the other. This is the 3rd type of flower, I think, if not the 4th, it's even the 4th, I think, the last one. And yeah, once these are done, I'm going to stamp the leaves as well. And I'm just creating the same sort of design as I did on the one layer card, except here obviously I don't have to do any masking. And to be honest, this was probably quicker, even though I stamped a lot more images. I believe this was much quicker than the masked cards, or the single layer card. All right, so I'm moving on to the leaves. From the leaves, I think there are four different ones, and two of them are just one layer, and then there's two where you don't have to, but where you can stamp two layers, just a little bit of added dots and design to the middle. You will see that in a second. This is a second that has no second layer to it, and then you will see the other designs in a second. With all this stamping, it's really hard to find anything to talk about. I'm sorry that I keep thinking about what to say. All right, so this is the one that I was talking about, and here I want to mention something. When I was working with on these cards, I noticed that I messed up the cut file here because I did not take it into consideration that this one actually has a second layer, which is what you see here. And as you can see, I did not take that the stem into consideration, but this has already been corrected, so now the cut file is all fine. And yeah, and earlier I think I missed a couple of images as well, because for the I didn't quite think through what you could do with the cut file. So there were a few images that I didn't create a mask for, because actually I created the mask cut files first when I did my one layer card. And back then I didn't really think about adding these ephemera type cut files as well. And I just used the masks as a basis, and I didn't think about the other images that I did not create masks for, that you could also use here. So those I also added, so now the cut file should be okay. All right, so for this paperback here, I'm using gray colors because my background is gray. I kind of wanted to just use gray, and you see I use the same color on these ones, but I double stamp the first one and just single stamp the second one, and because of that the color is going to be different, so that's good. I like a bit of variety. And so I'm creating my first background and the first card base here, and the second one is I chose the black one. I really like the this graphic type of image with or pattern with flowers. So yeah, I hope you like it too. So I'm trying to arrange the bouquet in a way that I have all colors. It was a bit hard. I wanted to have two purples as well, because there's two different purples, but then I chose a second orange instead, just because I don't know, it's just a happy color, and because the background is gray, I just felt like it needed a bit of happiness there. So once I settle on the arrangement, I'm bending up the cut files a little bit, like the end of the leaves and the petals a little bit, just for to add some dimension and movement to the whole arrangement. Obviously, this is not gonna look the same as when you use a coordinating die. The edges are not so nice, but you know, when I don't have the dies, I think this is a decent alternative, let's say. um, excuse me. So once I have the arrangement done, I'm gluing everything down, and I added some foam tape to all the flowers and also to the paper bag, again to create some dimension. And I'm trying to hide, the leaves are not, or the greenery is not so long, it would not go into the paper bag, so I'm hiding those ends behind the flowers. And once this is done, I'm adding some enamel dots to the flower centers. So basically, you don't even need to stamp those. You could just add the enamel dots. I was not thinking about that earlier. So the sentiments I picked from the also new It's Your Party stamp set, and I'm going to emboss a few on black cardstock with white embossing powder from Wow Embossing Powder. And yeah, so I'm choosing two of these, and I actually made a couple more that I did not add to this video, which I will be using in an upcoming video as well. All right, so I chose the Celebrating You and the Day to Celebrate ones. And I'm adding, because the black cardstock is not so thick, I'm adding some heavyweight cardstock behind it, so I can add foam tape to it, and it's not gonna get ruined or squashed or anything like that. And I'll just add this on top of the paper bag. I was wondering if I should tuck it in between the flowers, but then I prefer this placement. And then I'm using black twine, which I don't think I used in a very long time, but I found that it fit here. So yeah, I quite like, actually, black and white with colorful flowers is my favorite thing, but I haven't done it in a very long time, I don't think. Okay, and then to finish off the cards, I'm adding some gold spray or splatters. And here's the other card. It's exactly the same, just a little bit of different colors, different color background, and twine, and the flowers are a little bit different, but the whole setup is the same. So I hope you like how these turned out, and I could give you an idea, a different idea how to use this stamp set. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.